All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we have Lynn Stravecky, who is an author, family counselor, and energy healer. Lynn, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Tim. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Of course, of course. Thanks for coming on, and we like to jump right in. So if you could start with telling us a little bit about yourself and what you like to do for fun, that'd be great.
Great question. A little bit about me. I'm like a little smorgasbord. I like to do different things. I have 24 years experience as a psychotherapist. And during my journey as a psychotherapist, I was searching for ways to help my patients in a holistic way. And then I became an energy healer, flew to Arizona to do that. So I'm like one of the only holistic energy healer psychotherapists on Puerto Rico, on the island. And I recently published my first book last year called Howling Behind Cement Walls, which talks about my life. And I'm also in recovery, 13 and a half years. And hopefully the book, will help others who are struggling with all the things that I've been through, how I got here. And what do I like to do for fun? I love to cook. I love to be on the beach. I love to run, do weights, be healthy. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. I love it. Well, let's jump into your motivation and then we'll jump into the book. So tell us what gets you up and keeps you going every day.
What gets me trying to be a better person. I'm always striving to see what I can do better to feel better, as an energy healer, I know we're here for an experience. So what am I doing to make that experience fabulous? And am I doing the best I can? Am I feeling the best I can? And how can I be of service to others in the best way? If I'm not in a good place, I can't be service to others. And I have a big practice and I work with a lot of people. So that's and going to the gym. That's my mojo in the morning, the gym.
There we go. There we go. I love it. Now tell us a bit more about Howling Behind Cement Walls. So you said in recovery. Tell us what
Yeah.
you're in recovery from and just a little bit more about that.
Okay, good. Yeah. I started out 30 years ago in Florida, and I did get in recovery from alcohol. And I had, put some years together, and, what my recovery gave me, I put before my recovery, my job, my husband, my kids, money, all that stuff, title. And I lost my recovery, my sobriety for probably over a decade. And the scary part is that I was able to, in that 10, 11-year period, I was able to function. You know, when I was in my 20s, I wasn't functioning. But this time I somehow functioned, or so I thought. And it wasn't until I went through a divorce that I really hit the bottom and crawled out after 3 years. And so the last 13 and a half, almost 14 years, I've been striving, with recovery, how to be better, how to do better, how to help others. And then I found the courage to write my book. Now, there is a chapter in there that tells you why the book is called what it is. And I won't give that away, but it's an important chapter.
Okay.
Says, were you in prison? I said, no, but in my own kind of prison, in my mind, I guess, but I wasn't in prison. But there's a whole chapter on howling behind cement walls, how it got the name.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I that was gonna be my next question, but now I won't ask. Well,
You'll have to get the book.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, let's go ahead and jump into your dreams and goals then. You've written this book, you're an energy healer, a holistic psychotherapist. Tell us about your vision for your life and your company.
I got I'm a great manifester. I teach this and I've been studying this. It's how I became what I am. It's how I came writing a book. I used to say I'm not an author. Well, now I am. One of my dreams is to travel and get off the island and to promote healing and recovery and promote my book. I'm a great guest speaker and I absolutely love doing that. So I kind of want to be of service in the States, traveling around, doing talks, doing seminars, promoting what I do and believe in, and the style that I do it. There's a lot of people that know that my style is unique. I treat the mind, body, and soul. I'm not one of those therapists that say, okay, you got these diagnoses, go to a psychiatrist and get on meds. I'm not a medical doctor, but I don't work that way. So I kind of want to branch out at this point. I've been in Puerto Rico a long time, and I'm originally from Connecticut. So I don't want to go back to Connecticut, but I'd like to just travel and see where I could be of service. Putting that out there.
There we go. There we go. And is that travel going to be primarily as a public speaker or just travel in general?
Well, both. I'd like to mix. My dream is, to travel for fun. And I'd like to go to Bali. I'd like to go to Peru, meet a shaman. There's all these spiritual type things that I like to do, but I also want to be of service to people that, I can do seminars or help them in any way I can with my abilities. I'm also very intuitive. So I bring a lot to clients that I work with that they don't generally find. So I'm planting seeds, Tim.
There we go. I love it. So we got travel and get off the island, promote healing, recovery, and your book. Are there any other dreams or goals that you want to chat about?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's kind of it. I think a lot of people right now, what I'm seeing, especially with the pandemic, they're lost. Well, they think they're lost. But right now, I believe that we're either going to the right or the left. You're getting towards the light or going towards the dark. And there's a huge mental health crisis. There's a huge crisis with marriages and individuals and online dating crises. I mean, I'm dealing with all of it: mental health, depression, panic attacks. So I think I am being of service here. I even have clients abroad that I do Zoom thanks to the pandemic. I'm now doing Zoom, and I happen to love it because I could reach people that are not just in Puerto Rico. They're in California, some are in New York, and New Jersey. And so I kind of, want to help these people that are suffering and they're stuck. They're just stuck. And you're either going to grow and change, or you're going to get sick and go down the hill. And people are at a crossroads right now. That's what's happening with the pandemic. There's a huge crossroads happening.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think it's the pandemic brought a lot of it on, but a lot of it was also happening before the pandemic. Like there were mental health crises and dating crises and family crises before all that.
Yeah, but not like, let me tell you, in 20 plus years as a mental health provider, I have never seen what's happening. So I'm seeing it now. Well, also too, parents are at home, couples are at home with their kids. They're stuck in the house instead of they're seeing each other all day versus, well, I only see you at night for dinner and a glass of wine and that's it. So they're having trouble being in a couple. People are having panic attacks for working from home. I love working from home, but those people may not like their own company, sometimes. So there's a crisis like I've never seen before. And I've been at this a long time. Yeah. Should be addressed more in the public too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, if there were one or two people that you could meet right now, and this could be a specific person or a type of person, and they'd really help you take the next step towards these dreams and goals, who would they be and how would they help you?
I've always had on my list Oprah Winfrey. I've been following her since, God, maybe 30 years ago. I've written her a few times. I said, well, it won't hurt. But I admire her because I admire people that have come from the bottom up. They've got something to say. They've got substance. Their life is spicy. They've had opportunities. They've overcame them. And what she does is she's not only overcome them, she helps others. She's a very giving person. So that said, I keep reaching out to her. And there's someone else that I would love to meet, but he's passed away. It was Dr. Wayne Dyer. He was a psychologist. He was also in recovery. He's traveled all over the world, helping millions of people by his word, his voice. Oprah's been on my top of my list, for someone to meet because she's very influential and she knows people. And I like her soul. I like what she has to say and what she does for people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to think big.
No. In fact, it kind of hurts not to think big.
Exactly. I always say go high because they can
Yeah.
only come low. Send that email. I've been told by people, oh, you won't do this. She won't answer. I said, well, maybe she will.
Yeah.
Maybe she will.
Exactly. And what are the most important one or two things that everyday people can do to help you accomplish your goals? So you meet Sally at the grocery store, and Sally's like, Lynn, How can I help you out? What would you tell her?
Oh, word of mouth. Tell people, get me on a show. Tell me a link to go to, tell me an organization that I can be of service to, because I'm planting seeds, maybe it's a recovery center, maybe it's a spiritual retreat, that I can go and bring my services. I bring unique stuff and I bring, over 20 years experience at what I do. And so I think word of mouth and people spreading the word or sharing any contacts that they may have and reading my book. If you read the book, you're going to get inspired.
Mm, there we go. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Because I want to know that woman. She got a spicy life. Look at her now.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. Well, awesome. Now we're gonna jump into our thriving three, and our first question is, what is your favorite book, movie, or podcast? Pick one.
My favorite movie has to be The Notebook.
Mm,
Why? I find that to be the most tremendous, deep soul level of love and commitment and passion and family that I've ever seen. And I cried. Get me to cry, it's a good thing. Yeah, that to me was a fantastic movie. It had substance. The movies today, they're violence or pain or I don't know. They just don't call me. I like something of substance, and that movie has substance. What was the other question?
it was just one. So,
Yeah, that's the one that stands out that I don't normally watch movies more than once, but that one I will.
alrighty. What is your favorite part of the Notebook?
I would have to say at the end actually, my favorite part was how he was consistent, the husband, to go to his wife who had Alzheimer's and memory loss every day to read to her about their life. And in the end, where he laid down with her and they both transitioned together, it was like, what? That's a love story. Yeah, I love love. And I just thought it was a beautiful tribute to what love means and what dedication means in a relationship. And as a behavioralist, this is what I teach. And most of the couples I work with have no clue how to do that. This guy knew. He did it. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I was got a little emotional right there.
Yeah. I choked up every time I saw it. Every time. Yeah.
Awesome. And what is one way you like to take care of yourself?
Oh, absolutely. The gym. I'm a gym rat for 30 years plus. For me, it's not only to look good and feel good, but it's for mental health. I work with a lot of people with a lot of challenging situations. In order for me to be of service to you, I have to be in a good place. I have to have my ship clean, and that's my head. So and it's not anything that's difficult for me. It's like I say my drug of choice. I get off on going to the gym. It makes me high. I feel good. I feel ready. And then I can come back and be in a good centered place. So absolutely the gym and some good food, good, healthy, clean, vegan food. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I love eating meat, but
Well, I was raised eating red meat and baked potatoes, lots of butter, bacon. I was raised that way. But as I got older, my body just changed and it
yeah,
wanted something. The more holistic I got, the more I developed and evolved. I said, this doesn't feel good in me anymore. Didn't happen overnight, but
I got
every
you.
now and then I may eat some meat, but it's very rare.
I
Yeah.
got you. I got you.
Hmm.
And what is one action step you can take right now or continue to take if you're already doing it to meet Oprah?
Talk to people, send emails, put the word out. I'm a great believer in planting seeds. What I mean by that is I'm talking to you. That's a seed. And I may send an email. That's another seed. And also I believe in continuing to do what I do almost daily is I work on the power of manifestation and law of attraction. That works. I do it. And I see it, I feel it, I look at it, and if it's supposed to be, it'll be. If it's not her, it'll be somebody else.
There we go.
But I'm putting that out there that that's something I want so I could be of service to a large number of people in a grand way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm seed dropping, Tim.
I love
That's
it.
what I think that the next step. Continue dropping big seeds.
I love it. I love it. Well, now we are going to jump into our final series of questions.
Okay.
And I did not send these beforehand. They're a little
Okay.
tricky. So if you don't know the answer, feel free to say, I don't know. They also require a bit of pretext. So stick with me as I read them. Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
a lot of people have come on the podcast and they've said that the catalyst that helps people change from having a fixed mindset, not willing to accept help, and not willing to accept change, to having a growth mindset, being willing to accept help, and being willing to accept change. The catalyst that helps people make that switch is a personal choice that happens after either extreme inspiration or extreme desperation. Do you agree, disagree, have anything to add or subtract?
Yes, I think everybody has their personal opinion on that. My opinion is you'll change when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yep.
Yeah. And when people tell me their story over and over, I say, I'm not here to judge you. Are you sick and tired of hearing that story yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's do something different. So the catalyst for me as a behavioralist to see, even for myself, to make change has to be some kind of a bottom. Either it's emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. You got to hit some kind of a bottom, then to have a level of awareness that something's wrong here. Because a lot of people just don't have that level of awareness, even if they hit bottom. They're on Skid Row. Like, this is good. This is all right. I got some food today. So you got to know, you have to have that level of awareness. Something's wrong. That's number one. It's like a little ding, 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 ding. Ah, the light bulb went off. Okay. Then you got to see, what can I do to make this better? It might be a phone call. It may be a certain meeting. I might be calling somebody for help. I don't know. Going to take a seminar. You have to take the next step after the level, which I said it could be making a seminar, taking a class, going for therapy, going to get help, calling someone, saying, I need to do something different. Could be changing jobs.
Yeah.
It's taking the step of doing something different. It maybe even listening to guided meditations, like to changing the subconscious, because the subconscious mind gets stuck. And if you're not present and aware, then the tapes keep running from the subconscious, which are damaged tapes, old tapes. You got to put new tapes in. You have to be very mindful of what you're putting into your mind. Many people are not. They're just running on automatic pilot
I love
and
that.
wondering why their lives are the way they are.
I love it. So, given the same amount of inspiration or desperation, why do you think some people make the choice to change and others don't?
I think they make the choice to change because they're tired of the way they're living. It's just not enough. And it may even be like, let's say, in a marriage, that just, why do some people all of a sudden suddenly decide, gee, I want to have a divorce? Because their soul is telling them something's wrong, something's not right here. I'm not happy. I want to be happy, but I'm not happy. But I'm scared to leave.
Yeah.
So it takes courage, and it takes willingness and trust in yourself, that you know what you know that maybe you're not happy. Okay, that's all. You have to trust yourself, and then take that next step, and always you'll be rewarded with the next level, always.
There we go. There we go. Cool. Well, some people need a smaller amount of desperation or inspiration to change, and others need a larger, more consistent amount. What do you think establishes our threshold for how much we need, and can it be influenced?
Oh, good question. I think a lot of it too, for some people, depends on the way they were brought up. Okay, so if you were brought up in a household or an environment where there was constant chaos, and you weren't getting your needs met, and you were being abused, let's say, well, your level of tolerance is going to be pretty high. That's what you know. You know what you know. And it may not be until you decide that, as you get older, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't think I like this. And that usually takes some commitment to a good psychotherapy, so someone to help you peel the layers, peel it back, and take out the old and put in the new, because a lot of people just don't know how to do that. And so their level of tolerance is just stuck. And those that want to go grand Or maybe again that's the environment they were brought up in. Go for your goals. You can do it. There's nothing you can't do. Not everyone is taught that. They're not. For me, I was not taught that. I was taught, get married, have babies, have the man take care of you. I said, ah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. But I ended up doing that in my first marriage, and it didn't serve me. And eventually, I think you will strive to find your rhythm at the pace you want to find it, and you'll be happy with what you have, or you won't. And maybe once you start changing your mindset, then certain people will start coming in, like, oh, and because you've changed your mindset, like the law of attraction, that energy level, you energetically start bringing people in. For example, when I started writing my book, I didn't know what I was doing, and I started saying, I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, you got to stop saying that, Lynn, because you're going to be an author. Stop it. And then once I raised my vibration and said, I'm going to do this book's going to happen, I met people that came in and helped me write the book, helped me edit the book. It was incredible because I raised my vibration to say, absolutely, I can do this. So I stopped saying I can't, and I'm not an author, to I can, why not? And this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to happen. And it did, gracefully.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of your intention, whether you were raised that way or not. What do you think your intention as an adult human is going to be right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. I love it. And so raising that vibration, it's a lot of just changing what you say, changing your thoughts, and changing your actions to kind of be in accordance with the thing that you want to be doing or the person you want to become. Is that right?
See, I can or I can't. I listen to myself and I say, I teach this stuff, Lynn. And I listen to myself say, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an author. That's just an example. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You got to stop saying that. That's like a blocker. It's a
Yeah.
block. So I started saying, well, why not? Of course I can. I am. I'm on an island, for example, that I'm a minority. I'm an American here on Puerto Rico. So I'm a minority. And when I came here, I didn't speak Spanish. I do now. But I remember telling people in the beginning, I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to be successful because I'm good at what I do. People that want to find me will find me.
Yeah.
People that I can help come. That's what I was saying for over 20 years. And I don't advertise. People come, people know about me. And that's because I know, that's because that's the seed I planted over 20 years ago. I didn't say, oh my God, how could anybody want to come to me? I'm not Puerto Rican. But I didn't. I changed my mindset and what I energetically intended to happen. And it did 10 times plus what I thought it could do. So, yeah, I believe in the power of the mind, the power of the word, the power of fixation, see it, smell it, touch it, feel it, all that. I do it, I teach it, and it's real and it happens. But most people are doing it wrong. They just
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Well, we got one last question for you.
Oh, good. What
For
is
this,
that?
keep in mind a person who has a really fixed mindset, they're not willing to accept help and they're not willing to accept change. In Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about the 4 laws of changing your behavior. And the laws are to make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. With that context in mind, and the avatar I just told you to kind of keep in your head, how can we, you and I, create an environment that makes it more obvious, more easy, more attractive, and more satisfying for people to make the choice that will change their life?
Well, that's a tricky question because in my field, I strive to make my environment appealing by hope, and by options, and by helping people to hold themselves accountable. Because I can't do it for you. A doctor can't do it for you. A seminar can't do it for you. But if you have the willingness and you take accountability instead of complaining, because if somebody comes in and there's a hard no, okay, I let them go. It's fine. But a person has to find the willingness to say, I want to change, and you offer them a good hard look at their life. When I work with an active drug addict or alcoholic, for example, and they tell me, I just don't want to do it, don't want to get sober. I say, okay, that's fine. How's that working for you? How's
Yeah.
that working for you? Well, Lynn, it's not. I said, okay, what do you think you might want to do? I make them stimulate their brain on what their options are. I never tell anybody you are a full-blown drug addict. You know that? You are a full-blown alcoholic. You're mean. You're a controller. I never do that. I go around the back door and help them to have self-realization and ask them, well, how's that working for you? You know, uh, doing this. Oh, okay, you lost your job. Oh, okay. So by conversation of self-awareness, they can come up with the solution themselves.
Mm.
And I also make it very safe. I try to make everything very safe. There's no judgment. As a therapist, I don't judge. And as a healer, I can see things and feel things. And I try to make people very safe when I work with them. Non-judgment, not labeling, not calling any certain type of name, just gently stirring the water, so to speak, stirring the water so they can say, oh, yeah, okay, I might, oh, there's the lights, thank you. Hey, I might want to do that. That sounds good. And I always say, yeah, I think that might be a great idea, even though I know that's a good idea. And I could have said it 20 minutes before, but I want people to be empowered to come up with their own solution by giving them options and self-realization. Because everybody wants to take everybody else's inventory, right? But they don't want to take their own inventory. It takes gentle coaxing.
There we go. There we go.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Love it. Lynn, that's all we have for you.
Yes. Great. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a great time. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anytime, just you send me an email and I'd be happy to be of service.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything else you want to chat about before we sign off?
I think that was it. We covered a lot. And if I could be of service or anyone is interested in my book, it's on Amazon, Howling Behind Cement Walls. They can just go on and type in the name, and it's a small paperback. And if they feel they're struggling with any addictions or any other life issues, divorce, relocating that I cover in the book, or depression, they might want to give my book a chance.
There we go. There we go. Well, awesome. If you guys were listening to this and you loved what Lynn had to say, make sure to check out her book. Go ahead and rate it while you're at it and send it to a friend after you're done reading it. As we always ask, shoot this podcast over to 1 to 3 people you know need to hear this message. All the ways to contact Lynn will be down in the show notes. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review on iTunes if you liked the show today. And on that note, we're out.